Excuse me. Sorry about that. Hey guys, what's going on? It's definitely been a no bones day for me. Excuse me as I choke. It's definitely been low key, low stress, low relaxation going on. Interesting things to talk about today. I know Ronald wants to go over how to set up a flight sheet for HIVE-OS, talk a little bit about the farm. We got equipment starting to roll in. Excuse me, gotta. Ooh. Ooh. Why is that so spicy? um, lots of interesting things to talk about today. Some interesting things on the docket that I want to bring up and discuss. I know that Ronald would like me to go over setting up flight sheets on HIVE-OS. We'll definitely go over that and how to set that up. It's just been a low-key day. We got the earnings call for AMC. Had a bit of a price drop, so I've just been kind of kicking back, relaxing, watching the manipulation unfold. Lots of interesting things going on. I'm curious to hear what you guys think and what your opinions are with the AMC squeeze, with cryptocurrency. So, as always, I encourage you guys to join the conversation, join in, share your opinions, share your thoughts. We are live on Discord. So, if you'd like to join the conversation over there, please go ahead and do so. Real simple to do. I won't share your face or anything like that. It's just a voice chat on Discord. So if you want to join in, we'll get that rolling. We will be giving away some winter or hoodies merch today. Tried to give some away last week, and no response back from Rockets on Discord. He guess he didn't want the merch. But it is what it is. Now, his loss is your gain. So you guys have the opportunity to pick up on that merch. Enjoy that bourbon, Ronald. I'm not sipping bourbon, I'm sipping whiskey. Hence the scratchy voice. Kind of went down the wrong pipe there a few seconds ago, but I think we're ready to rock and roll. Things are chugging away. I got Coin Market Cap pulled up, just kind of taking a quick overview of what has been going on with the market. Bitcoin up. We had a all-time high, I think, of like 69,000 the past couple of days here with the Fed's release of the inflation rates for the year or for this quarter, which are just astronomical. All-time high. Never before seen inflation rates. Stupid crazy. So, of course, with those inflation rates with the Fed and the USD, everyone is transitioning over to Bitcoin, kind of hoping to lock in some of their assets and their value with cryptocurrency, because as inflation rates go up with the USD, it makes cryptocurrency more stable, in my opinion. More people flock to it. We have seen a bit of a dip in Bitcoin, 4% in the past 24 hours, but it is kind of the nature of the beast. We do see major hedge funds taking profits in what's to come with, I believe, the market crash. I definitely think there's a big market crash to come, especially after receiving these stupid high inflation rates from from the Fed report. But as we scroll down here, take a look at some of these coins. Dogecoin sitting pretty at number 10 again. Not seeing that 30 cents, 50 cents like we'd like to see, or that even that dollar mark. But 25 cents ain't bad for Dogecoin. Shiba Inu right underneath it. Seen a bit of a drop in the past 24 hours, in the past 7 days. It is what it is. Chugging right along. Overall, crypto market doesn't look bad to me. We hit it all-time high. We're back down under 3 trillion. We were up over 3 trillion. We're now back on 2.8 right now, but hey, it's a move in the right direction, in my opinion. And it's all for the better, to be honest with you. I got nothing bad to say about crypto today. I know we were talking a little bit about different or new cryptocurrencies popping up, making CPU mining relevant again, potentially. I don't know. I still think it's, you get into it early enough, you could definitely make some decent go at it, just like anything else. We were talking about, let's pull up the chart here just so we can see what realistic numbers we have. So number one miner on the market right now is the Goldshell KD5, the Kadena, whatever it is, cryptocurrency. One of these miners going for, I think it's like 60K, which is stupid. 78,000 from Russia. A couple small ones here, but these ones are all out of stock. You can't get these right now because they're making you $465 a day, which is crazy. It's not going to last. Being able, looking back, I've been mining for a long time. I've been investing in cryptocurrency for a long time. These machines won't be this profitable for too much longer. Unless you already have one of these machines running and you foresaw this spike coming, it's too late. It's too late to get on this bandwagon. By the time you get your hands on one of these miners and get these things plugged in and running, you're going to have missed the high. It is what it is. But yeah, Aries is right. The L3s still make above average money. So yeah, we're fine. Absolutely. If you can pick up, a good L3, which is, be careful ordering from China, be careful ordering from some of these third-party vendors. You can get some pretty shitty equipment. We just experienced that ourselves over at the Coastal Crypto Farm. I mean, dozens of bad power supplies and miners that we have to flash and solder and jump the control boards to get the HIVE-OS to pick up because they got the ST virus on them, whatever it may be. Be careful who you order your L3s from. And don't overpay for them. If you're going the L3 route, there's definitely alternatives out there. We're looking at A6s, we're looking at you know, multiple other different types of script currency miners. We're definitely focusing on script, especially where we've seen the spike in Litecoin over the past couple days, hitting a high of $300. Just last night, we're back down a little bit, but it's a good run up. I like to see it. Bitcoin went up, Litecoin went up. It'll come back down. It is what it is. Uh, I wouldn't, waste my money on one of these right now. I really wouldn't. One coin is all it's capable of mining. There's stupid, crazy money involved in getting your hands on one of them. It's just not worth it. In my opinion, you're better off picking up, an L3, some of these other script miners, maybe potentially something that you could overclock, use third-party firmware, and kind of breathe new life into some of these miners. So keep your eyes open. There are always opportunities out there for you guys to find something. Don't be discouraged. I know a lot of guys have been looking for alternatives into mining. One of them being, I'm going to butcher this name, Raptorium, whatever it may be. And it's, a CPU based mined cryptocurrency. And it's got like a 12-day ROI based upon, what equipment you buy. You spend $600, 660, $700 on a decent CPU, and you've made your money back fairly quickly. 10, 15 days, I think, is what people are talking about. I haven't researched it enough, so I don't want to speak too ill will or too positively about it. It does look interesting, and it has sparked my interest, so I definitely will have to look into it a little bit more. But that is definitely something that more and more people are picking up on because it's becoming profitable again, using your CPU to mine and so on. So, market looks good. I like to see it back over 3 trillion overall, but we'll see how the rest of the week pans out, getting towards the holiday season and what have you. Mark, welcome to the chat. I'm trying to catch up on some of these comments. You guys are flying through them. Yeah, Harris. I mean, you're rolling the dice when you're buying from China. It's really what it comes down to. Mark had a good lead on a supplier that he's purchased from before, and we purchased for the farm. It didn't, we got the equipment. I'm gonna have to do some major deep cleaning on it to be, for sure. But it is what it is. So, at the end of the day, the equipment's here. I'm short a power supply or two. It is what it is. But eventually, I will get them up and running. I promise you that. Yeah, 53K for KDA miner, free shipping. No, I doubt it's free shipping. Ronald, we all know you're trying to get your beer money. Mark wants an OW1 ASIC miner. So that's a good point. Eric's brought up, don't forget Raptorium has a market cap of 20 million. He says it could go up more, but the project itself is a little underdeveloped. And that's what tends to happen. I mean, they have good fundamentals, they have good structure, but just the development behind it, the social behind it, just it drops off, it disappears. It sucks because some of these are amazing projects and they have great ideas behind them and great people behind them, but they just don't have the support to push them forward. Yep. So Mark is referring to the fact that he is coming in next week with our other partner, Scott. We've also invited Steamy to come and assist as well in the setup, and a few other selected members. And we're going to be setting up the farm, getting everything rocking and rolling, dipping these machines, cleaning them, brushing them, scrubbing them down, getting them up and running in the farm, and making sure that they're making you guys money if you're hosting with us, and obviously making us money too if we are, purchasing our own equipment right alongside the equipment that we're helping you guys source as well. So I'm a little lost. You guys have a little bit of a side conversation here in the chat on Friday, like you said, or earlier, or are you talking in a different context? Next Friday. Thursday, Mark's coming in to the farm next Thursday and Friday, I believe. 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, or 18th, 19th, 20th. Because he's flying into Scott and then driving to where the farm is. So I think he's flying in the day before and then driving to where the farm is located. Yeah, we're getting notifications all day, every day for the amount of equipment that we're trying to get shipped into the country. Some of them are going through the port. I think Miami's the big one, and then they gotta travel up the coast to where the farmer is located. But trains, planes, and automobiles. Yes, Mark, planes, trains, and automobiles. Hey, Brian, welcome to the chat, my friend. Another coastal crypto client. Welcome to the chat. So we'll dive right into it because this will benefit Brian along with Ronald and Eris. If you're not aware of this yet, this will also benefit you as well. Ronald had voiced the question and asked how you set up or properly set up the flight sheet for your L3s. Because, of course, when you host with us, you guys have full control over your flight sheets. You can change them at will. We have no say on that. We just make sure that they're plugged in and running smoothly. So let me go through this flight sheet real quick, and then I'll get back on the questions in the chats. So let's go back to the main page on Hive. Eris, you see, you're already there. You're ready to go. Once the machines come in, Brian, you're going to be the next one to be added. Ronald as well. But when you guys go and you log into your HIVE-OS, first thing you're going to want to do is set up a flight sheet for your miners. Now, typically what I do, Mark may do this a little differently. It all depends on your preference. I make one flight sheet and then I duplicate it and I change my worker number. So when you connect to a pool, I give my miner, each miner has its own individual worker number. So everything is going to be the same except for that worker number. So you may have, Ronald worker 001, Ronald worker 002, or Amigo PC 001, Amigo PC 002, and so on. So you can actually duplicate that 001 worker once you've created that original flight sheet and just change your worker address. That's what I've been doing for our farm, just to kind of save me a little time, but it's real easy to do it. Go ahead and you want to click a flight sheet. If you're using the L3s and you're using F2 pool because you want to merge mine Dogecoin, don't be confused, or don't get confused rather. All you're going to do is select LTC, and you're going to add your wallet. If you haven't added your wallet in yet, this is a good time to do it. Just copy and paste it to wherever you want the coins to end up. wherever you want your miners or your mining pool to send your coins is where you're going to enter here into your wallet address. I don't think I have one saved. Let me see if I can pull one up real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking for a valid Litecoin address just to use as an example. All right, I think I got one here. Make sure this is correct. So again, Litecoin for the L3 Plus. Obviously, if you are running like an S19 or a SHA-256, it's going to be a Bitcoin or a SHA-256 supported cryptocurrency. We're focusing on the L3s, mainly because that's what we run in the farm right now. And that's what, I think a lot of you guys who are hosting with us are running as well, is script algorithm based miners like the L3, L3++, the A6, and so on. So we're going to go ahead and add, once we select LTC, we're going to go ahead and add our coin in LTC, add that address. I'm just going to put test. And you can put your exchange here if you want to. You don't have to. I mean, that's if you're fetching it. I'm gonna go create. Okay, and then select your pool. So there are a number of pools that are already preloaded into HIVE-OS, so it makes it really easy for you guys if you're gonna use one of these. F2 pool is right there within the list. There are a couple others, litecoinpool.org. Minergate, I would avoid. Via BTC is another great pool that a lot of guys use, but mainly what we're using at the farm right now is F2 pool, and it already plugs in the URLs that you want to select. So because our farm, if you're hosting with us, is based in the US, obviously you're going to select the US, hit apply. And you can select a miner if you would like. If you have a list, you can leave that blank, I believe. Field required, show all. Huge list. Long list. Just goes on and on and on and on. Oh, did I lose my chat window? Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, so I must have missed the chat here. Let me pause for a second. I would like to switch between F2 pool and pro hashing. Yes, you can absolutely do that. If you instead of selecting pool configuration, you can manually enter it as well by entering the URLs down here at the bottom. Obviously, I selected F2 pool, so it's real simple to do, but you can also select pro hash, or you could enter, copy, and paste the URLs available for pro hashing into this as well, into the manually advanced section of it. Again, if you guys host with us, we'll walk you through it. We can even help you create flight sheets. It's not a super complicated step to do. There are some questions that need to be answered and asked. I mean, you give your name, let's make a test again. Add miner, and you keep adding and you keep going on from there, on and on and on and on. So there you go. I mean, you go PC. You've already, kind of jumped into it already for me. I was going to get there, Ron. You need to set up a separate flight sheet for pro hashing and a separate flight sheet for F2 pool. So you can have, say, 2 miners on F2 pool and 2 miners on pro hashing. You don't have to be on the same flight sheet for every miner. Each miner that we run at the farm for ourselves has its individual flight sheet. Each miner has its own individual worker number. So we can log into HIVE-OS, or we can log into, say, F2 pool, and we can see that the miners are online. 14 miners, or 15, 15, 20, 20, whatever it may be. And we can compare the numbers and, get a more accurate reading that way. I'm just going to collect CC miner just to keep the process going a little faster. Yeah, Amigo PC Mark has a great video on setting up your flight sheets as well. Make sure you select the proper algorithm. I select CC miner, so it's giving me all these additional, and I'm probably just making this more complicated than it needs to be. It's not this complicated. It really isn't, guys. Yeah, I think Mark's video is probably far better put together than what I'm trying to do right now. I'm a little all over the place, and I'm already a few drinks deep, so I'm going to apologize. But definitely check out Mark's video on setting up the flight sheet. It is fairly straightforward. It isn't, going to make or break hosting. We can definitely help you set it up. Mark is far more advanced in HIVE-OS than I am. But we can definitely get you rock and rolling. Ronald, Brian, Eris, whoever's hosting with us, we'll get you set up. We'll get you going. Yes, I am making it complicated. I'm sorry, Mark. I really am. I'll stop now. How about that? I'll stop. I'll leave it as it is. And my brain stopped halfway through it. It's not complicated. Once you sign in, click flight sheet, add new flight sheet, coins, add your LTC for the L3 Plus, your wallet, your pool, and so on. You will also need to make sure you have an account with the pool you are mining from. If you are using F2 pool, you need to have an F2 pool account. If you're using pro hashing, you need to have an F2 pool or pro hashing account. If you have an litecoinpool.org, you don't have an account there as well. So you want to make sure that you have kind of all your ducks in a row before you collect your, or create your flight sheet. You want to be able to direct your miners to your account, not just direct them to the URL. If you just direct them to the URL, you're not really mining for anybody else. So you want to make sure you're mining for you and not just, open mining. There you go. I pinned Mark's video. Make it simple for everybody. There you go. So you have to, if you're going to get paid out in 2 different coins, like F2 pool pays out both in LTC and DOGE. They're merge mine together. So if you are going to mine on the F2 pool, you need to make sure that you have added your Litecoin wallet and your Dogecoin wallet to your F2 Pool account. If you don't have your F2 Pool account set up correctly, and say you just have an LTC wallet address entered and not your Dogecoin address entered, you're obviously not going to get those Dogecoins paid out to you. Pro hashing allows you to be paid out in multiple different, cryptos. You select your payout, you select your amount, you enter your wallet address, and it spits it out. F2 Pool doesn't specifically list Dogecoin. So if you would like to get paid out in a coin that is merge mined, like Doge and LTC, you need to make sure that you enter those wallet addresses appropriately in the F2 Pool. I can make a separate video, not during the live stream, on how to set up F2 Pool and how to set up a proper flight sheet. I could put those kind of together in the same video for you guys. I'll try to get that out this week. After I make sure that I'm speaking clearly and concisely and not all over the place. I do apologize. Yeah, Ronald's got a lot going on. We know. I mean, he's trying to sell. From what I understand, Ronald, you're trying to close up your shop, sell your equipment, and get ready to move. Yep, I just covered that. Mark is correct. Aries, you need to set that up with the pool. You can't just plug in a URL and expect to get paid out. A lot of these pools, like Pro Hashing, F2 Pool, litecoinpool.org, you have to create your own login accounts to generate your worker addresses and so on how to set up your miners that way. Yeah, so when you're looking at Eris asks, so then the wallet and coin ticker is just for show on HIVE-OS. It'll give you your hash rate. More or less, that is what we're looking at on HIVE-OS. We know that most of our miners, if not all of our miners, are pointed at F2 Pool at the moment, and F2 Pool offers merge mining. So we're just looking at the overall hash rate on HIVE-OS to generate, our calculations on how much we should, in theory, or on a typical payout, be receiving per day. Yes. Yeah, Mark is absolutely correct. Hive is a remote monitoring service. If you use the HIVE-OS firmware on your equipment, you pay, a dev fee. You don't really pay a fee, if you were to set up, or use a separate firmware. So you can connect to HIVE-OS through other firmwares, but you're going to pay a fee versus using the HIVE-OS firmware, which is pretty decent. I will give it some credit. It's some decent firmware, and you pay just a small fee, I believe, through the firmware. You don't pay a fee through the hosting service. They have two sides of the house here. You have a hosting service through HIVE-OS, and you have a firmware side of HIVE-OS. So you have to figure out, you're going to use both of them together and, cut your cost, or are you just going to use the monitoring service and, it is what it is because you only have one machine. But if you're using multiple machines like we are, like I know so many of you guys are, you may benefit from installing HIVE-OS on your equipment. That's what we recommend doing because it gives you access to it through their remote login. So definitely, check that out a little bit more. We can talk more in depth about that. I've made a couple videos on it myself. I know Mark has made videos for Amigo PC and he's talked about it quite a bit. So make sure you check out those videos and ask questions after you've watched them and kind of digested a little bit what's going on with HIVE-OS. I've talked to Keith a little bit, Ronald. He printed some stuff for me. Unfortunately, I haven't received it yet. I've been working on a little bit of a side project for Coastal Crypto, working on a power distribution block. And he was printing me some, 3D printed covers. Haven't seen them yet, and haven't heard from Keith. I don't know what's going on. I hope he's all right. Seems like he's been a little bit quiet in Discord. I know he's got a lot going on in his home life, just like the rest of us. So hopefully he'll pop back in here sooner rather than later. For those of you holding a SafeMoon, I think it's worth mentioning in this video. You need to be preparing yourself to transition to version 2 for SafeMoon. They are migrating to version 2. They're burning quite a bit. I think it's 1,000 to 1 burn. So if you are holding, 1 billion, I think it's 1 billion SafeMoon tokens, you'll end up with 1 million SafeMoon tokens after the migration to version 2. Just be prepared for that. People are talking about it coming out next week. It's coming out in 2 weeks. It keeps getting pushed back to push forward. Just prepare yourself. The easiest way to set yourself up for it is to get yourself the iOS or Android SafeMoon wallet and set it up that way. If not, you're using, say, Trust Wallet, you're going to want to make sure that you're connected to, the SafeMoon swap and be able to swap your SafeMoon for your version 2 SafeMoon tokens. So there are a few ways of doing it. Just be prepared for when that does happen. I'm sure there'll be some kind of grace period along the way for SafeMoon based upon what I'm reading in the Reddit pages. You'll have like a 2-3 week grace period to swap from version 1 to version 2. Version 1 will obviously still be out there, but there will be no more support for it moving forward from the SafeMoon team. So if you wish to continue following along with the project, moving forward with the SafeMoon exchange and the SafeMoon blockchain, you will need to migrate to version 2. Once that does finally happen, I will bring it up again. I'm just kind of giving you guys a heads up in what's to happen in the next coming weeks or so with SafeMoon. Be prepared for that. It's not difficult. They've done their best, from what I've read, to make it as simple and painless as possible to migrate from version 1 to version 2. Okay, so going back a step here, Mark filled us in on the L3s. It's 1.8% dev fee, which is dual mined as your worker is mining, aka you don't see the fee basically. That's going to be the big move. Yes, Mark, you are correct. Thank you for the information, my friend. I got faith in Scott. He can do it. So I hope nobody is panicking too much with what's going on in regards to AMC. I know a bunch of you guys on Discord are holding AMC along with myself. It's a shitstorm of manipulation is what it's come down to. I'm trying not to fall too deep down the rabbit hole. We saw an amazing earning report for AMC. We saw some huge numbers. They did some amazing things in this last quarter, and then all of a sudden, it dumped hard. It went from like $48. Now we're down to like 37, 38. Clearly manipulation, you know, not enough volume to push it down that far, that fast. Lots of shit going on that is, you know, very sketchy and probably highly illegal, but no one is doing anything and nothing is being said at this point. I'm hoping that this will finally open some people's eyes and get things going and kind of push the market in the right direction and make it safer for retail investors to start, you know, actually getting involved in, you know, investing again. Another big thing, kind of a side note from AMC, but still regarding the market, is Robinhood. A lot of you guys that are used Robinhood or have transitioned away with Robinhood, and I hope you've transitioned away from Robinhood by now. If you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so soon. It looks like Robinhood will soon be filing for bankruptcy. That's kind of the rumor that I'm hearing. It's kind of the information that I'm gathering, that I'm seeing in regards to their earning reports, to the amount of users that have been leaving, and the fact that the SEC is soon to ban payment for order flow. So, you know, time to back away from Robinhood, transition to a more secure brokerage form, a more trusted brokerage form. I myself set up a TD Ameritrade account and a Fidelity account just to kind of keep my bases covered. I do have Webull still, I think, but mainly my trading platforms are going to be Fidelity at the moment. Just be careful, guys. Lots of stuff is happening. Be careful where you put your money. Keep a close eye on the market if you are involved in the market. With the way inflation rates have gone through the roof, I mean, we saw the S&P SPY SPY dump, you know, $10 today alone, you know, 15%, whatever it may be. So just keep your eyes on the market if you are in the market. I myself am still holding AMC. Once AMC does finally squeeze and they do put a hold and, you know, finally start regulating all the shit going on with AMC, the manipulation, and it does squeeze, the rest of the market is going to tank. That's how hard AMC is going to squeeze, in my opinion. I really hope it happens. I'm a 4X holder in AMC. Granted, you know, I have to pay bills. I've had to sell some of my assets and buy back. But I'm still within that like $13.78 average dollar cost average per share of AMC, and I'm still holding deep into the, you know, four figures worth of shares. So I'm still a long-term holder. I'm still betting on AMC in the long term. Just don't let this latest development discourage you. You know, Adam Aaron, you know, big news with him saying that you know, he sold all of his AMC shares. He hasn't sold all of his AMC shares. He said it months ago. 67% of his salary is paid in AMC shares. 67%. You know, of course he's going to want to diversify. He hasn't sold a single share in over 6 years. I mean, he's well overdue to take his gains. And he said it. He said it from day one, months ago. He was going to start selling some of his shares. He still holds well over 2 million shares of AMC, but he's, of course, taking some profit and taking some diversification. I still think he's on our side. I still think he's one of the good guys, you know, as far as, you know, multimillionaires can go. But, you know, I have faith. I have, you know, hopes that this squeeze will happen eventually. Transitioning away from AMC, another big one that a lot of people talk about is Tesla and Elon Musk, and the fact that he filed an S4 filing, and he's actually starting to sell some of his shares of Tesla. he has a strike price of at like $6.24. So he's going to pay taxes on the difference between like whatever it is, 1,060 or 1060, what it was today, and the $6.25. So he's paying whatever the difference is between those two values is what he'll pay on taxes. But he's still walking away with $28 billion. He'll pay 40% in taxes and still walk away on top. I'm trying to be business mindset. I'm trying to look at this from a business perspective. At the end of the day, it really isn't all about money. It's about taxes. It's about, making sure that you can continue doing what you want to do, moving forward from one week to the next. That's what Adam Aaron is doing. That's what, Elon Musk is doing. It's not in it for the money. They're in it for the, making sure they continue to follow their dreams and push their companies to the next limits by giving themselves access to more liquidity. They will have the availability to do that for the companies, and I hope that they do that moving forward. Billions, yes, billions and billions. I'm going to get a job at AMC for the employee stock discount. I've actually thought about that myself. There's 2 AMC theaters where I live. Maybe going in there, getting like a general manager position or something, just to kind of sit behind a desk and collect the free movie tickets and some stock discounts would be really nice. To answer your question earlier, I am drinking whiskey. Old Camp pecan and peach whiskey. A little sweet, not bad. I gambled a little bit, not something that I typically do. Now, in terms of talking about the stock market, I typically have been sharing, or I will start sharing again, my portfolio as I become more active in my trading. I don't trade every single quarter. Number one, I day trade to make my profits, to hold on and so on, but I don't trade every single quarter. Some fiscal quarters are more lucrative than others, and I kind of just monitor the market throughout the year. So this has kind of been a slow quarter for me, granted, with everything going on, my big holdings being in AMC. But as things start to pick up again for me in my day trading, I will start sharing that out with you guys. One of my riskier bets, and I did this more or less because of you, Brian, and after our conversation as well. I've always traded SPY. SPY's always been on my options list to trade, but I typically trade SPY call positions, betting on the fact that SPY is going to continue to go up. I saw a strong pivot position right around 470, 466, 468. So I actually put in a put position, just a single put position, just to kind of test the waters out. It is out there quite a bit, just to let you guys know. I think the expiration date isn't until the end of December, so I do have some time left on that expiration. I do feel that SPY is going to come tumbling down from its high right now of 466, 465, whatever it may be. So that's where I'm at in terms of my portfolio. If you are part of the VIP membership, if you are part of the Patreon or the YouTube membership, you guys get that inside access. You know how deep I am in AMC. You know how heavily invested I am. I'm in it for the long term. I'm in it for the long haul. I don't see it going back to below $20, below $15 anytime soon. I really don't. Adam Aaron is a great CEO and he's doing some amazing things. So I think it's only going to go up from here once the manipulation stops from happening. No, this is not financial advice. God damn it. Where is it? Over here? Over here? I'm a drunk guy on YouTube. Come on. This is definitely not financial advice. But you're more than welcome to join the conversation over on Discord if you'd like to chime in and voice your own opinions. There is a live voice stream on Discord right now. If you want to talk one on one and debate with me, I'm all ears. I'm a very easy guy to get along with. I'm always about interesting in hearing your opinions and learning what you guys think is relevant and what's driving your force behind your financial freedom goals. Do I need a Freemason invite for the VIP access? No. So on YouTube, there should be a join button underneath the video someplace. And there's also a Patreon link in the description for the video. So you can either join through YouTube or you can join through Patreon, which gives you that VIP badge over on the Discord server. And it gets you kind of behind the scenes access to how I'm trading and what I've got going on and kind of pick my brain one-on-one versus the live stream or the group chats on Discord. Ronald's got 1,000 shares of AMC and his dollar cost average is blown up. It can't be that bad, Ronald. It can't be that bad. Could you talk about the future of mining LTC and also GPU mining? I'm vibing right now. Yeah, I think from a business standpoint, what we've built Coastal Crypto on in terms of myself, Mark, and Scott, we feel that mining on the script algorithm, mining with the L3s, the A6s, whatever other script-based algorithm miners that are out there, is a little more stable at the moment than mining, say, Bitcoin or Cardano, whatever it is. And when you run a business and you're trying to provide liquidity and assets for your employees, your family, whatever it may be, you want something stable. You want something that is, it's going to be within a set range of payouts every single month, every single day, whatever it may be. That's why we have focused on Litecoin. There's equipment available. There's firmware available to make old equipment relevant again. Everything kind of lined up in our eyes to make sense that way. So that's why we've kind of focused on Litecoin, but we're not solely just mining, script algorithm with the L3s. Mark is deep involved in the CPU or GPU mining, big into Ravencoin Lite and some of these other cryptocurrencies that are coming along down the line. We actually just purchased seven or six 480s for I think 44 gigabyte cards. We're basically making a Ravencoin Lite mining rig. Solely speculative mining on Ravencoin. That's what we're building this rig for. The graphics cards are cheaper. The rig is going to be cheaper. And we feel that Ravencoin Lite will spike as Ethereum works itself away from or kind of transitions away from mining and goes to proof of stake. So we are looking towards the future. GPU mining, different ASICs, and so on. But there are different rigs out there. There are different types of mining that you can do that is still very profitable for GPU mining. It's not dead like a lot of people say. And, unfortunately, the tough thing with GPU mining right now, or just any type of mining, is the chip shortage. The fact that you can't get a decent priced 3090 or whenever we jump to the 4010s, we jump to the next series of mining the graphics cards. It's going to be tough to get your hands on them. That's what it's, coming down to. It's a little bit of legwork and a little extra, calling around. Mark has done a great job doing that for Coastal Crypto, and he tracked down an amazing supplier for ASIC miners. And, that's what it's come down to. That's kind of where, our focus has been. But as more liquidity becomes available for Coastal Crypto, we are looking to expand into other areas, GPU mining. Like I said, we're building that Ravencoin Lite rig. Mark is constantly tinkering with GPU rigs, trying to get the best hash rate out of them, and so on. So we're on the cusp of both of them. I voiced it actually earlier this week in a group chat that we have going on. I think we should stick a helium miner or a helium antenna on the roof of our mining farm, just because we're in a good area and we have some good line of sight. I think a miner up at the top of the roof would be great for what we got going on. Welcome, Brian, to the Side Hustle Enterprise family. Welcome, my friend. Mark this is the second time Mark has brought up this miner. I'm gonna have to do some digging here, Mark. Let me see if I can find it. Mark really wants this OW1 miner. All I can see right now is Awesome Miner supports it. Whatever it may be. I think you said it was a ASIC machine, correct? All right, there's no way this thing is real. Yeah, there we go. So it's mining on the X16R. Got some interesting specs. Just kind of skimming through here, trying to read here. X16R ASIC miner. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, whatever the hell this thing is. I love how it says add to cart, but it doesn't give you a price. So what's the deal, Mark? Why do we think that these are the future? Why is this a direction that you would like to travel down? The myth, the legend. I think something's wrong with that price, Mark. Can you guys see it? Right above my head. Total amount $7.77. They'll probably just ship you a picture of the miner. I think that's what that is. It's not the actual miner itself, it's just a picture of the miner. It's got your favorite coin on it. That's why you want it so badly. Hey, Pauls, what's going on? Pauls, actually, you guys, if you run into this issue, Pauls has got a good video on flashing the L3s. I might want to check out his channel as well. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Few of these miners, I think, are a little few and far between. Have to do some digging. I wonder if our supplier can get his hands on any of them. Chinasells.com said they have them for $7.99. So Voscoin reviewed it. He talked about it. Says they're available. I don't know about that. Obviously, I don't think they're worth $7.99. Yeah, Mark, we'll definitely have to do some digging on it, my friend. See if we can find it. Did you get the X5 on the L3? Mark is correct. Not yet. I asked. Yeah, so we were able to find, or Gold Shell actually sent us a link. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can get yourself a copy of that X5 firmware if you're interested in it. It's on my Twitter page from Gold Shell directly to their GitHub, and you can download it from there. But it's a 36 megabyte firmware. So it needs to be unpacked and broken down, I believe, before it can be flashed on the L3. Now, it's something that Mark was going to look into along with myself. Again, this has definitely been a no bones day for me. I'm still wearing my pajamas. I don't plan on doing anything much for the rest of the night. I'm probably going to call it quits after this live stream. But yeah, it just it was very interesting firmware to look at. Just in the quick brief, span of time that I was able to download it and try to get it on the firmware at the farm. I don't have it here on this computer, so I can't pull it up for you guys. But I did download it to the farm PC. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting firmware. I'm very curious to learn about. It's definitely intriguing. I'd like to get in contact with Rockets over on Discord and talk with him one-on-one on how he did it and figure out what the process is. He was very vague in the fact that it had to be just unpacked and well, there's multiple packets in this 36 megabyte file. So what are we unpacking? What are we looking at? What are we scoping out to make it work on the L3? That's what I need to know. So hopefully he gets back to either Mark or myself or somebody on Discord. He's been a little bit silent the past couple days here, seems like. So I don't know. He could have been pulling my leg. I hope not. I want to, I like to trust people. Maybe I trust people too much. Or maybe it was just all in theory and he never. I don't know. I'm not a software engineer. I'm not a software developer. I'm all self-taught in everything that I do. I'm a welder by trade, and I understand business management and a little bit of the markets. A little bit beyond my scope of view, so it's something that I definitely have to learn and pick up on. But I'm always eager to learn and always eager to pick up new skills. Hopefully, this will open some doors and we can get that X5 firmware on the L3 Plus. That would be very cool to see and to utilize. Absolutely, Pulse. Once we figure it out, if it is possible, I will 110% make a video for everybody on how to do it. It's just figuring out what that process is and what it entails. Uh, Again, Rockets was a little bit vague on what needed to be unpacked and what needed to be done to get this firmware onto the L35 or the L3 Plus. Uh, Very strange that the firmware is so large. They don't call it firmware, they call it software. The software is so large to start mining. So I'll definitely have to do some digging, but once we figure it out, I will give you guys the 411 and on how to set it up. Give you guys the video. I will make a video specifically on the flight sheets and F2 pool and getting set up with that as well for you guys who are hosting with us and are curious about that as well. So don't worry, I'll get that going. It's a lot of stuff going on. Come on, Mark. We all know you're smarter than that. Mark says if it's more than plugging in and turning it on, I don't know what I'm doing. Come on, we know you're smarter than that. You've got some seriously awesome hash rates out of some GPU rigs, and that takes a lot of time and effort and tinkering. So give yourself more credit for that. Give yourself a pat on the back. We know you're doing good. You got some awesome videos out there too. If you guys haven't seen those, definitely check out. Paul has some good videos, and Amigo PC also has some great videos on mining. So check them out as well. Yeah, the L35, 2024, the L35. Mark did share an interesting picture on Discord about a plane jam packed with what looks to be ASIC miners from Bitmain. Am I going to get in trouble for pulling up this video? Probably. We will try. Please fasten your seatbelts. So the theory is that these are all the L3s coming into the U.S. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see what's going on with them. Quite a few miners there, that's for sure. But again, now that I'm on Twitter, if you guys are on my Twitter feed, Goldshell did share the link out for the GitHub for the X5 firmware. Yeah, so this wasn't here until just recently, so they added it back for us. It's just diving in depth into which specific file is actually going to run the L3s, or what we can actually run the L3s off of. Yeah, it's a big file to be a firmware. I'm very curious. I mean, definitely got to do some digging into it myself. I just haven't had the time to do that. But it is available. It is on my Twitter. Um, I'll try to save the link as well if you guys need it. Maybe I'll pin it over on Discord. Yeah, I mean, Paul said it is what it is. I mean, I try to do. I've been lacking, severely lacking on my content the past couple weeks. I've had some family stuff go on, but definitely wanted to get at least do the live streams for you guys. I know I have been neglecting my duties as a YouTuber to put out new content, but at least the live streams get me one-on-one time with you guys if you have questions and so on, so we can kind of stay in touch and stay in contact. Yeah, let me know what you find out if you download that firmware tonight. Let me know what you think. I'm all ears. Supposedly, Eris, the firmware, the X5 firmware on the L3s will do about 600 mega hash at 600 watts. You know, maximizing your power efficiency versus your hash rate. And that's always kind of the name of the game when you are in mining, whether it be ASIC or GPU. You want the maximum amount of hashing power and the smallest amount of power consumption. That is the overall goal to being profitable when it comes to mining cryptocurrency. Another guy last week goes by Rockets over on the Discord server said that he was able to unpack and flash the X5 firmware to the L3, and that's what kind of you know power to hash rate he was getting. It is what it is. I hope that we can figure it out as a group. That's what we come down to. That's what I've set the Discord up for. That's what we started doing the YouTube channel, is so we can share our collective knowledge and grow together. I've said this time and time again on my Discord server and my YouTube channel. It's all about teamwork. Together, everyone achieves more. That's what I've always been about. Whether I was a teacher, whether I was working for a race team, um, you know building my business, you have to have a good team underneath you. So I look at you guys, the collective of Discord, the collective of subscribers. We are a team. Together we achieve more. That's what it comes down to. So thank you guys. Do you think it's possible that it would also be more efficient at 720? I'm hoping so. I don't know what this firmware even looks like. I've only seen screenshots of it. Uh, there isn't a whole lot of overclocking capabilities from what I see the X5 can handle, um, or that the X5 firmware offers, rather. That's probably better phrased that way. It would be very interesting if we can get, say, 720 mega hash at, 900 or 800 watts of power. That would be phenomenal. I don't think it's in the wheelhouse, but we will see if we can actually get that firmware on an L3 Plus. Yes, Ronald. Absolutely, man. If it is possible, and again, I'd have to see it. We're only talking in my opinion, we're only talking in theory. I have not seen it done. I've not been able to do it myself, so we're only talking in theory here. Teamwork makes the dream work. Is that going to be plastered on the wall? Just big Sharpie letters at the farm. Coastal crypto, teamwork makes the dream work. Is that the new slogan? 600 megahash or 600 watts is real. Definitely a middle ground is possible, like 680 megahash at 800 watts or something. Mark says the X5 doesn't do 720. So again, it's all theory, guys. It's all, we're all trying to figure this out, as we go. One guy brought it up last live stream. We've yet to see it with practical application. We've yet to see it actually live. There's been no videos. There's nothing been shared. There's just been no, how to DIY, how to set it up, nothing. So this is all, in theory. It would be awesome if it does work. It would make, utilization of our power supply at our farm much more efficient. We'll be able to fit in much more equipment in our farm if that's the case, if we're only pulling 600 watts. Because when you're only pulling 600 watts, you're pulling less amperage as well. Plastered on the wall with rainbows and unicorns. We'll do that for you. There's a sign guy right down the street from the farm. We can get that made up for you for when you guys fly into town. We'll get, big banner, big poster. So back to your Raven coin machine here. Voscoin kind of talking about it a little bit, going over it. But nobody seems to be able to track these things down. Wop, wop, wop. I didn't need that little violin, a little violin playing I Cry for you. Doge has got another update. If you guys haven't read into that, Doge has got another wallet update as well, fixing some bugs. If you are using the Dogecoin wallet or hardware wallet on your computers, make sure that you update those as the update rolls out. I think it's like 1.14.5 is the latest edition. So make sure you update your Dogecoin wallets. There's just so much FUD out there. I don't know what to, it's some of it. There's just so much of it. It's disheartening. There's so much negativity and FUD and just manipulation that I smile on the outside, but my soul hurts from the amount of corruption that we're seeing in our networking and our everything else that's out there. I hope the system wakes up a little bit, gets off their ass, and does their job. Okay, so Amigo PC says correction. I was wrong. Balance mode is 720 at 990, and overclock mode 850 at 1450. So right now, on average, kind of put you guys into perspective. The L3 Plus is capable of 720, or sorry, the L3 Plus Plus is capable of 720 to say 740 at 1390, 1360 is what we've been seeing watts of power. There's going to be 10%, 50% plus or minus in that range, but those numbers coming from the X5, the 720 990 watts. Let's just call it 1,000. Let's call it what it is. let's say 720 at 1,000 and 850 mega hash at 1450. Those are some awesome numbers. I'll take those all day long. Yeah, 1850 is insane. You're getting almost 1 gigahash out of one machine. That's awesome. Those are some awesome numbers. I found the 21 machine requirements for lower electric a little bit high. Are there any other ways to get lower electric, such as hosting with GPUs or bigger ASICs? Yeah, so the way we broke it down, Aries, we simplified it, and we tried to simplify it the best we can, breaking it down for the L3s kind of as a baseline. But at the end of the day, we're really looking at the wattage and how much wattage you're pulling. Because that's what we get paid. That's what we get charged. As a hosting facility, as a mining facility, we're paying X amount per kilowatt average. So when we're looking at the equipment, we're going to take into consideration the total wattage that you're using, and we'll go come up with a price that is reasonable for everybody at the end of the day. But at least the numbers that we have shown on our contract and on Discord, those are our baseline starting points. Paul says 90 plus Raven on my L3 AT at the moment, 24 hour 680. Nice. Still on Doge. Dude, that's insane. It really is. 850 on a single L3 is pretty nuts. The only other time I've heard 880 or 850 on L3 is, jumping your fans and doing immersion mining and doing it that way. But even at that point, you're still running the risk of having some serious hardware errors and some chips kind of faulting out on you. Yes, so Amigo PC brought up a good point. The L3 plus plus and the L3 pluses, depending on which firmware you're running, we have seen them peak at 1 gigahash on F2 pool. They're definitely capable of doing that. It's just finding a stable frequency in which they can perform at that at a consistent level. It's all about consistency. 1 gigahash for an hour doesn't make or break the bank. We want 1 gigahash for 24 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours. We want to continually run at 1 gigahash. And it's just finding the formula to make that happen. So wouldn't it be more ideal to categorize kilowatt hours for the ranks on the electric price details? Yes and no. Hosting is kind of our second leg, if you will. We're a mining facility, we're a mining farm, we're building this for ourselves, and we're just offering hosting to a select group of people. A lot of guys that are part of Discord or part of like my Discord, particularly, are L3 fanatics. So we're just using the L3s as a baseline because we know right around the kilowatt hours that they mass produce if you're at the 720 level. We can break it down. Mark and I can definitely sit down, crunch the numbers for you if that's something you guys would rather like to see is a kilowatt average. We just figured it would be easier to visualize from a visual standpoint because not a lot of people dive deep into their wattage usage or the kilowatt hour breakdown of their miners. We thought that seeing your mining rigs per cost would be a little bit easier. But definitely Mark and I and Scott, when they come into town, we could talk about changing the verbiage on our contract, if you will, to show wattage versus units. If that makes more sense to you guys, we just, especially, I mean, when I started out, when I looked at, the wattage at the very beginning, it's all over the place. We just thought it'd be easier to see the minor breakdown, unit breakdown versus your total wattage and having to calculate that out. But if that's something you want to see, we'll definitely break it down for you. The X6 or the LT5, Brian? Brian asks, is there a X5 version for the A6? So we have the X5, who is made by Gold Shell. We have the A6, who is made by Silicon. And then we have the L3 Plus, the L3 Plus Plus, and the L7, and the S19s, all made by Bitmain. Bitmain definitely has the corner that has cornered the market with different ASIC miners, but there are different ones out there. So those are our main three that we're looking at. So the X5 again is Gold Shell. The LT5 is Gold Shell. The A6 is Silicon, and the L3 series or the L series is Bitmain. So it's just a lot of the components are very, very similar. It's just making them work together with different software, and not hiring a software specialist to, charge us tens of thousands of dollars to write custom software to do that. Where we're trying to utilize what we have available to us, and we'll definitely try different things, because at the end of the day, we want, when we succeed, you succeed, and then so on. But that is a good question, Brian. Let's get the X5 on the A6. The A6 is already a bigger machine than the X5 and the L3 Plus. The A6 is more or less two L3s jammed together. So you go from having 4 hashing boards to now you have 8 hashing boards and 1 controller. So your efficiency changes quite a bit. There are different firmwares out there. For example, people are forcing the A6 Plus firmware onto the A6 machines, and getting a little bit more juice out of them. But we'll definitely push those A6s to their limits, because we know that they can handle them. We know the L3s can handle it. We know the A6 can handle it. It's the same chip. So we'll definitely push them as much as we possibly can in a safe manner. The more I hear about the firmware, the more I doubt the L7 success. For, let's say, an S19J Pro, I'd get different number. Oh, talk about the hash rate. It all comes down to what wattage or what usage kilowatt hour you're going to have for the miner, and how much power we have really available at our facility at the moment. I'm meeting with the electrician tomorrow to add more power to our facility and more electrical drops for the increase in miners that we have, en route. So it's definitely something. If you want an S19J, we can definitely sit down and figure out the price. Again, Mark and I can definitely sit down and figure out what the cost is, if you would like to see it that way, versus units per mining rigs. Again, most of our hosting services, most of the people hosting miners with us are hosting the L3s. So that's why we went that route. But we can definitely, Mark and I can definitely sit down, and Scott, and figure out what the kilowatt average charge will be for, a kilowatt range, if you will. 0.02 kilowatts to 1 kilowatt and so on, and we could figure out a range, or our wattage range. It's just about calculating the numbers. It's not difficult to do. We were just trying to simplify the process for you guys. Not a big deal. You got anything to add to that, Mark? Put Mark on the spot. Make him sweat a little. Okay, so I'm backtracking a little bit, transitioning back to AMC, because it just popped up on my feed as I'm scrolling here, trying to figure out different things. We were talking about this earlier in the live stream, so I stand corrected. It's not 67%; it's 62.5% of Adam Aaron's annual salary is paid in AMC stocks. And he says he's 67 years old and needs to diversify. So I had some of the information correct, a little bit backwards. It's 62.5 and he's 67 years old, not getting paid 67%. So it is what it is, but he's still within his right to diversify and to secure his future for not only himself, but his family and so on. Still holds 2 million shares of AMC. Excuse me. Paper hand, sell, sell, sell. It's over. Holder 6 months from now, up, 10,000%. That's Dogecoin. I think that goes for Dogecoin. That goes for SafeMoon. That goes for AMC, and whatever other gambles you're in. Just about figuring out what's what kind of risk to reward you're willing to take. I don't think it's done. I don't think it's even started yet, to be honest with you, Pulse. Talking about AMC squeeze and GME squeeze. I mean, we saw a decent run up with GameStop. There's still a lot of people in the GameStop game playing that squeeze, but we haven't even seen the squeeze for AMC yet. And just we were talking about earlier in the live stream, the amount of manipulation that we are seeing from different hedge funds, from the SEC just turning a blind eye. And in my opinion, the court case and the hearing that Ken Griffin had with the SEC last week or 2 weeks ago was a joke. I think it was a ploy to silence the retail investors, to keep us quiet right before earnings call, to be honest with you. And AMC had a fantastic earnings call. Amazing. They blew out the expectations, way out to let. I mean, they did an amazing job with their earnings call, and then all of a sudden the next day they plummet. I think the hedge funds are in panic mode right now, so I'm holding on to my shares absolutely. Brian says, awesome that you are exploring better ratio firmware. I'm going to get some L3++ for my house to help with dev. Yeah, man, we'll set you up, Brian. Let us know whatever you need. We're here to help and to You know, we want everybody to enjoy the ride with us. AMC is going to pop like a zit soon. I agree 100%. You know, I hold. God, do I want to say it? Do I need to say it? Oh, how about this? Before we say it, let's do the giveaway. Let's see if I can find a name generator here. Random name picker. I think this is the one I used last time and it sucked. Let me find another one here. Wheel of names. Perfect. Yeah, Brian, you and I are on the same page, my friend. I definitely feel that AMC, yes, Paul's, it may have started as a meme stock, with everything else and everybody talking about it, but it's definitely it's coming to its own. AMC has stood the test of time. It has done fantastic earnings report. It's paid off its debt or paid down its debt, and they're making improvements every quarter, and they are just doing better and better and better, in my opinion. So it's only a matter of time, I think, until the squeeze happens. It definitely didn't go in favor of the hedge funds, shorting everything and what have you. So if you commented on the live stream, if you haven't commented yet, comment now. I'll enter your name into the prize drawing, giving away one of some of our hoodies, our merch from our merch site at sidehustleenterprise.com. So if you'd like to enter in to win, make sure you comment in the next few seconds here before I hit the spinny wheel of fortune. I don't want to get copyrighted here, say the wrong thing. Comment now. I got you in there. Don't worry, Paul. So I got your list. Got your name in the list. I just want to make sure we got everybody in there. The all five of you. Righty. All right, so I think I got everybody in the list. We got Brian, Paul, Eris, Ronald, and Mark. I know, Mark, you said you don't want to be in there, but I'm going to put you in there anyways. So it's cold. When you get here, man, it's cold. I know you're coming from a warmer climate. When you get out here to the farm, do the setup, it's a little bit colder. Go ahead and give that wheel a spin. Winner, winner. There you go, my friend. So just like I gave Rocket the other day, did I win $1 million? No, you did not win $1 million, but you did win some free merch. SideHustleEnterprise.com. There are a couple hoodies on there. Let me know which hoodie you would like, and I'll get it shipped out to you. If you're not on Discord, I suggest you click that link in the description down below. Check out Discord and DM me which hoodie you choose. There are a few of them on there right now. I am constantly adding to the site. Nice kitty. What? My cat behind me. What's your cat's name? That one is Ghost. I have two cats. They're both handicapped. That one's Ghost. The other one is Oak. I don't know where Oak is. Sorry. Got distracted there. So apparel. Hoodies. Sweatshirts. They got a number of different colors and styles to choose from. Let me know which one you want. Let me know what your address is. I'll reach out to you here on YouTube and on Discord if you're on Discord. If you're on Discord, it makes things a little bit easier. So we'll get you hooked up with that merch if you want it. If you don't want it, let me know, and it rolls over into next week, and we'll do it again with a new group of people. So just let me know what you decide on. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up for me. I think I've beaten myself up enough for the night. And I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to me. So, Aris, congratulations on winning the merch. Let me know which sweatshirt you want, and I'll get that out to you ASAP. Let me know your sizes. I think we go all the way up to 5XL. So, whatever you want. Give it to Pulse. To be honest, I only wear polos anyway. If you want to give it to Pulse, I'll let you give it away. So you heard the man, Pulse. Choose your hoodie. Let me know what you want. You got the Bitcoin accepted here, Dogecoin, and Dashcoin at the moment. If you'd like something specific, let me know. We'll make it happen. Hit me up on Discord. Hit me up here. My email is on the YouTube channel page if you want to email me. If that's easier for you, we'll make it happen. We'll get that out to you. But until next time, guys, keep hustling, keep working hard, keep learning new things, and keep pushing yourselves to do better every single day, because that's what it comes down to. The more knowledge you have, the better we can provide for ourselves and our families and so on. And, bring you guys along for the ride of whatever I'm doing. You guys are always invited to learn from my mistakes, of course. See there's the catch. There's the catch. All right, guys, take it easy. I'll catch you next time. Mark and Scott should be here right after my next live stream. So stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll postpone the live stream until they are here, and we'll do the live stream live from the farm. Putting Mark in the hot seat again. So we'll see what happens. But stay in touch, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Join the conversation. Until next time, take it easy and don't work too hard. Have a good one.